Guys, welcome back to Doubting Tower Defense. Today I will be reviewing endless mode tips and strategies that you will need to know if you want to get on these leaderboards. So guys, watch this whole video, subscribe and like, and let's go into sandbox. Alright, I have to have at least one unit equipped, okay? I'm just going to type this axolotl. Alright, Garden Endless. By the way, have any of you been able to get the new map rewards? Please comment that down below. Alright, we're teleporting into Sandbox. Perfect. I still don't like the name Farm Frenzy. I really think Garden is just like a better name. I really think it's just nice to have a less complicated kind of name. It's easier to remember the name Garden than Farm Frenzy, for sure. Alright. Come on. Huh, weird. My game's taking a bit to load. Alright. I wonder, is this picture from inside of the map? I feel like this must be in the lobby, because there are the little power lines, and here we've got the windmill. Alright guys, we are now in Sandbox, and let's get ready to review our endless strategies. Alright, I'm gonna add the cash here, just gonna speed things up a bit too. And we are starting up with the first type of thing you need for endless, and that will be stalls like Magnet Root, Vinehill, and Fisherman. So if I now get these Magnet Roots, so let me find them quickly. Here we go, Magnet Root, Fisherman we also need. Perfect. Oh, and yeah, there's a Fisherman giveaway. So torment Fisherman with your username down below, and I'm giving one viewer a Fisherman, guys. So yeah, remember that, Fisherman. Alright, Vine here. Wait. I know I do have a Vine here somewhere in here. Sometimes it's just a bit weird to search for things. I must have typed something wrong. Let me go and search down here. Vinehill is a 2-star. I mean a 1-star. So here it is. Yeah, there's a space. I forgot that. Alright, so here we have our first category, Magnet Root, where you will want to have all 4 of these Magnet Roots, because that increases how well they work. Then we got the Fisherman, also really good, and the Vinehill. These all work really well together, so you will want to have all of these down to increase the stall. And let's say now, if I have these Magnet Roots placed like around the track here, this one can be here. Now I will get the Fisherman. These don't have as big of a range, so I'm going to place them right around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we will want to be placing our vine here. And as you see, this doesn't have a lot of DPS. So guys, remember that. You definitely will want to have DPS beside the vine hills, magnet roots. These alone will not work for you. Alright, here we go. We got our vine hills, and I will be showing you guys how well this can work by sending out some bosses. I don't want to send the tracking bosses. I will probably be sending a Moth Overlord. Just let me work on it quickly. Alright, speed to 3 and have a ton of health. Alright, perfect. And here we go, a Moth Overlord. I wonder if the Moth Overlords are stall resistant. That's kind of weird that it's not working very well. I'd rather try that. So I guess an endless boss will typically be a lot slower than that. So I think an endless boss will probably have more like this speed. Let's see. If I send one of these now, it is pretty much a full stall to this boss. And this will also work having two bosses. So guys, that's our first category. Stalls, 4 magnet roots, vine hairs, and fisherman equals a full stall for a boss. So remember this. Now moving on to the next category. We have got the transforming ones. So here the best unit for this is a transfiguration flower here. So I will delete these. And now I have a perfect Moth Overlord to test this on. Typically in Endless, if you're doing a solo, you would have one on first, one on random, and you will have one on strongest. So just like this. And then if you're in a bigger team, you will typically have a couple more on first, a couple more on strongest, but mostly you will focus on having ones on random. Remember guys, transferred flowers on random. Another thing that definitely works for this category is a witch leaf, but the prices for a witch leaf are so high, I recommend getting a transfiguration flower and not bothering to get a witch leaf. Alright, so that'll be it for the second category. Yeah, remember guys, transfers mostly on random, some on strongest and some on first will make a great enemy takedown. Alright, for the next category, we have the slows, meaning like all of the slows, for instance, Ice Spud style. So, one of the things we can definitely use here is the Trilasia. Here, though, I would recommend only using the Trilasia if you are actively playing the Endless mode. It doesn't make sense to use a Trilasia if you are not actively playing. But this thing's stall is so amazing that it really is unbeatable if you are actively playing in the Endless. Now, the second part of this category is quite an old unit actually, really. It is the stick paddle. Now, this unit will give you an AoE stall of 50%, even though its range isn't huge and its DPS is only fine. It is actually a pretty amazing unit. Like, if you check that out, that is definitely a very recognizable stall. And also, if I place some stick paddles up here and send out a couple bosses, they will do just as well. Alright. Sandbots. What enemies did I send? Oh yeah, this was a Moth Overlord. Wow, transfers did good work. Now I can send a couple more of these. Like this. And they will group them up and do a great stall. As you can see here, I would recommend having one of these ones also on random. It's definitely another part of this unit that makes it a very good unit. Alright, then other options you also definitely have here is Orangis and Ed Bastard stems. Orangis are really epic stalls, but not good on the DPS side, which Ed Bastard stems are, and I would also definitely recommend Tremor Tree here. Alright, moving on to the next category, we have got Confusion. So here, we will want stuff like Confusion Plant, Lot Seal, all kinds of stuff. Rainbow Confusion Plant, here we go. You also can just as easily do this with a normal Confusion Plant. And of course, if you have one, a gold confusion plant. Doubting Wizard, also a great option. I'm just gonna have to get rid of some of these units I'm carrying. It's weird when I search confusion, only a couple of them pop up. Alright. Get rid of that. That should be, oh, I removed the confusion plant. That was a bit of a mistake. Oh well, now let's go back and find it. So, confusion, oh, okay. Well, rainbow confusion plant. This is a great stall, as you see. If I now place this here at this snail, it will confuse this very, very well. Also, for crowds of enemies, the Rainbow Confusion Plant is not a bad pick. For instance, having one on strongest for the bosses, of course. You will want one on first for sure. Often you will also have a second one on first. And then if I send out, say, 10 of the this is like an endless wave. I'll send maybe a ton of these and then one of these. Now I'll speed this up. And as you see, they are definitely, oh, right, it's messing with the Moth Outlords over there. Come on, confusion plants, that is not what I want you to focus on. Alright, here we go. It's doing a very good stall and doing a good amount of damage too. So as you see, it's definitely a very, very good thing to have. And this is also attacking the boss. These lava queen spiders do not do stalls, which I kind of forgot, but yeah, guys, confusion plant super important. Doubting Wizard can do the same effect with a stall on top, also a very good unit. Other stuff you can use in this category are, for instance, Confusiflora, which is definitely amazing. It does an AoE stall, but it does not work with Magnet Root, and that is a bit of a hard thing about it. Then we have also got the Luxio. That thing is amazing. You can use it just like an Overlord stem. And at the same time, you can use it to confuse. So it's also a ton of damage on there. And in worst case, use the Hypnotize stem. But I would not recommend it if you're using Transfiguration Flower or really any other effects because it blocked a lot of them. Moving on, next category, second last of this video, and that is stuns. So, one of them that I will definitely, oh, wrong unit. One stun I'm definitely going to show is the Inkweed, actually a really cheap stun to get. You can also obtain it by getting on top 50 leaderboards from Aquamap. And the Golem, this is great because it's an AoE stun. Definitely do not use Lava Golem or Frost Golem though. That will not work out at all. Alright, so sell these. And I'll be using the Inkweed first. And I'll also try to showcase how this unit can stack with others. You can only have 2 of them down, which isn't great. But now I can, for instance, have a Magnet Root here. Alright. 1, 2. Magnet Roots are very big units. 3, 4 of these, and maybe a confusion plant up here. Upgrade them all to level 5, and here we have it. This is like kind of Inkweed, what it can do with the help of some other units. Also, definitely a useful thing to stack a stall on top of there. Alright, and then send out some enemies. So I will probably be sending out a Twin Spider with some extra health. There we go. And send it. See how this goes. Alright, that is doing very well. Yeah, as you see, Intweed is definitely a great thing to have on top of all the rest of these stuff. As you see, occasionally you'll see the stun. So, guys, Intweed, great stall. Another really, really good one is the Stunflower. It really stats on top of other stuns. Really amazing unit. I also would recommend taking that. And now, for the final category of the day. That is the sleep category. So, let's see what we got. Here we go. Jinx Plant and Lullabloom. These two units both do a sleep effect, which is more or less a stun, but it doesn't get in the way of other effects, which is pretty amazing, guys. And also, what the Jinx Plant does is it can apply Chocolate effect, which is a super duper OP effect, making enemies permanently take 10% more damage. So let's check out the Lullabloom. And I'll be comparing these units actually against another unit you guys will probably know, and that unit is the Short Shroom. This one I just want to show how big of a difference there is between stun and sleep. So, say I now will place some Short Shrooms here. Got it. And now I will have 4 magnet roots like this. Put them all on auto upgrade. There. And I send out a boss. See how this goes. What would you guys think? So, of course, the boss is Tiny Bidstall, but the second the stun has been equipped once, the magnet roots literally become absolutely useless, which is really pretty horrible. Like, guys, that means Short Shroom and really all very long stuns can be pretty horrible compared to sleep effect. So now let's do that same test again with a Lullabloom. Alright, got my 4 magnet roots out again. Here we have them. I don't want another one though. Alright. There we go. And this time, when I send that exact same Queen Spider, no changes, it will fall asleep, but it isn't like it's really blotting it as much. Like the cooldown of the Short Shroom made the magnet roots have no effect. Rather, now that it's doing sleep, the cooldown does not hurt the other unit's effect, which is the big help of having a sleep unit instead of a stun unit. And this exact same thing you will see if I use the Jinx Plant. This is definitely not as effective as the Lullabloom, but it's also not a bad choice if you don't have a Lullabloom, because they're not the easiest, cheapest thing to get, really. Here we go. And send that same test once again for the last time today. Here you see it again, and it also does the chocolate, as I mentioned. Of course, this is definitely not a half as good sleep effect, but it's also a very good unit to have. Alright guys, that'll be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and like the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Take care, guys.